Hey everybody, it's Cybersplit, and welcome to my Magical Musketeer deck profile. So yeah, this is a really fun deck, very counter heavy, and just pretty good fun deck all the way around. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, I'm going to be playing three magical magical musketeer Caspar. So every magical musket monster has the first effect, that is, you can activate spell or magical musket spells and traps from your hand during either player's turn. And then they have like a column effect. So for instance, Caspar's effect is that if a spell or trap card is activated in his card's column, you can add one magical musket card from your deck to your hand. So it's very good. He's a really good starter. Next up, we have 3 Magical Musketeer Starfire. Starfire's effect is that if a spell or trap card is activated in her column, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Magical Musket monster from your deck in defense position. So very good there, and level 4s are really nice in this deck because of the Utopia double combo. So, very good. Alrighty, next up we have... we got 3 Kid Brave. Once I get it out of my hands here. So we got 3 Kid Brave. I don't really have too much draw power in this deck, but this guy is pretty good. You can, if a spell or trap card is activated in his column, you can, I can discard 1 Magical Musket card, and then I get to draw 2. So pretty handy. Alrighty, next up we got 2 Magical Musketeer Doc. Doc is pretty darn good. I would be running 3 of him if I wasn't running these level 8s in the deck. So that's my reason. But yeah, he's very good. I think he's way better than Wild. Wild pretty much shuffles 3 Magical Musket cards from your deck to from your graveyard to your deck, and then you get to draw 1. But this retrieves 1 from your graveyard, like a Magical Musket card from your graveyard to your hand, if a spell or trap is activated in his card's column. So he's very good. You can pretty much pick what Magical Musket card you want from your graveyard and add it to your hand. So next up, I am playing 1 Calamity. Calamity's pretty good actually. It's the only level 4 in the deck. So yeah, but no, Calamity's pretty good. It's like a Monster Reborn pretty much. If a spell or trap card is activated in her column, you can target 1 Magical Musket monster in your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. So pretty good. Okay, next up we got 2 Magical Musketeer Mastermind Zakil. Jeez Louise. He's pretty good. I mean, he's level 8. Max, the Link monster, he can just get him out really easy. But what Zakil does is you can tribute summon this card face up by tributing 1 Magical Musket monster instead of like tributing 2 random monsters or whatever. So that's really handy. During either player's turn, you can activate Magical Musket spell or trap cards from your hand, like the other monsters or Magical Musket monsters. And then once per turn during your opponent's end phase, you can draw cards equal to the number of Magical Musket spells and trap cards you activated this turn while this card is face up on the field. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. So that's another pretty good drawing card too. I usually, when I have him out or just in general, I use a lot of Magical Musket spells from my hand during my opponent's turn to counter them and negate their stuff. So it's pretty handy. It's yeah. And then the only other level 8 I'm playing in this deck is 1 Gizmek. Pretty much a free special summon level 8 on the field. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, quick effect, you can banish 8 cards from the top of your deck face down, and then special summon this card. You can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, then target 1 face-up monster on the field, destroy it. You can only use 1 Gizmek effect per turn, and only once that turn. So it is a hard once per turn for one of them. One of the effects you can only do, but You can do it. You can like special summon them by banishing top 8 cards of your deck during your opponent's turn. And then you can, on your turn, you can pop a card or whatever you want to do with it. So it is pretty good. For my other high level ones, I'm going to be running 2 level 7 Dino Wrestler Pankratops. He's just a pretty good card in general. This is a going second build, like really strictly going second. So this is pretty good because if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can just special summon from the hand, and then you can use his quick effect if you want to tribute him, and then pop a face up, or just not even face up, just one card your opponent controls and destroy it. So it's pretty good. Next up, we got, and then for the rest of the monsters, we just have 3 Ash Blossom. It's a staple card in a lot of the decks in today's metagame, so just a very great card. Negate an effect that your opponent uses, like add a card from the deck to hand, special summon from the deck, or send a card from the deck to graveyard. So it's very good, as a lot of you know. For our spells, I am playing 3 Magical Musket Cross Domination. Cross Domination is really, really good. It is, if you control a Magical Musket monster, target 1 face-up monster on the field until the end of this turn, change its attack and defense to 0. Also, it has its effects negated, which is really good. You can only activate 1 of these per turn, so it's very good, but yeah, I think 3 of it is really good. Next up, I have 3 Mind Control. Mind Control is really good. This is going second build, so Mind Control, target 1 monster your opponent controls until the end phase. Take control of that target, but it cannot declare an attack or be tributed. So it's very good at stealing like a high power monster or a high powerhouse they have on their field. And just get it and like link summon it away and yeah, just get rid of it completely. Then I am running 2 Magical Musket Steady Hands. Steady Hands is very good. I wasn't playing any at all, and then I was playing 1, and I was like, oh wow, this is really good. I'm gonna play 2. So basically, since I'm playing Yugioh, you can pretty much boost. Or I should probably read off what Steady Hands does first. Steady Hands is target 1 Magical Musket monster you control. Its attack and defense become double its original attack and defense until the end of this turn. It cannot attack directly during the turn you activate this card. You can only activate 1 Steady Hands per turn. That's okay though, because usually they have a monster out or whatever, unless you pop them all or whatever. But you can pretty much make Yugioh here 5,000 attacker, so very, very good. Or like if they're going to attack you, whatever, you can just play Steady Hands to boost your Magical Musket monster, and just the monster might die or they might take damage or whatever. So it's very good. So I'm going to clean this up here. Okay. Some more spells here. I am playing 2 Super Polymerization. Just a really great card to get rid of like a lot of those, to clear your opponent's board easier. And just very great card in general. So I only have room for 2, but if you have room, I feel like 2 is really good though. You might brick with it. I bricked once in a while with this at 2, but 2 is good in my personal preference. Okay, next up after that, we have some one-ofs. So I'm going to move those over. We got 1 Upstart Goblin. Just a really great card for draw power, and it's a +1 in this deck, I feel like. Yeah, I mean, you draw 1, your opponent loses or gains 1,000 life points, and then you can activate your Magical Musket monster's effect or whatever to continue your plays, and you have an extra card in your hand. So I mean, it's very, very good. Double or Nothing. We are playing the Utopia double combo, so very important here. Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn's just amazing. I mean, it's just a really great card. Especially in this deck, you can plus off of it a lot more. So And then entering our traps, we have the one Dancing Needle. You can play this at 2, or I wouldn't play this at 3, but 2 is really good. It's if you control a magical musket monster, target up to 3 cards in the graveyards, and banish them. So, and you can only activate one of this card per turn. So it's very very good. I might even run it at 2 to be honest in the future, but it's very helpful. So, yeah. Okay, and then for the rest of our traps, I run 3 of Desperado, and then also 3 of what is that? Last Stand. Some people play 3 of one and then 2 of the other, or 2 of each. I like. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to move the camera there, but I like 3 of each. It's just really good, and I just really enjoy it. Desperado, what it does is if you control a magical musket monster, target one face-up card on the field and destroy it. You can only activate one magical musket or Desperado per turn, but free pop card. And then Last Stand is a counter trap, which is when your opponent activates a spell or trap card while you control a magical musket monster, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. So it's it's very very good. And then you can just plus off it even more. Yeah, I just love this deck so much. So that's gonna round off for our main deck, and off to my extra deck. Yeah, extra deck. Jeez Louise. I play 2 Magical Musketeer Max. He's very very good. I was playing him at 3. To be honest, if I had more room, I'd probably put in an extra one either way. Because there's some games where I go through 2, but I always have that feeling there's going to be that one game where I'm going to need 3 of them and I don't have a third one. But I don't know. So yeah, 2 max in this build. I have some rank 8's that I don't have room for a third one. But yeah, 2 max. Oh, I should probably read off his effect. His effect is if this card is link summoned, you can activate one of these effects. Add magical musket spells or traps with different names from your deck to your hand, up to the number of monsters your opponent controls. Or you can special summon magical musket monsters with different names from your deck, up to the number of spells and traps your opponent controls. So that's really good. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. During either player's turn, you can activate magical musket spell and trap cards from your hand. And all it requires is 1 level 8 or lower magical musket monster, so pretty much any of them. But it's such a great card, especially going second, and that's why I made this deck going second, because of Max, specifically. So, next up, I have 1 Hippo Shinnigan. Hippo Shinnigan's really good. 2 light monsters. This deck is pretty much all light monsters except for Pankratops and Ash Blossom. So, very good. All light monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. Also, all dark monsters on the field lose 400 attack and defense. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 light monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of this card once per turn. So it boosts up all your magical musketeers even more, and also whatever light monsters you have out from your extra deck or whatever. Very good card. And there's I feel like a lot of metagame, or the metagame today, there's so many dark monsters, like just dark attributes, that are just like really good cards out there, so this makes them lose a little bit of attack. Next up, I play 1 Cyframe Lord Lambda. Just a generic link to, if you use mind control, just take their monster and link them into this. Can't be a token, but very good link too. The effect doesn't really do nothing for this deck, but generic. Next up, to round off our links, we have Boral Sword Dragon. Just a very great card. A lot of people might know this already, but I read it to you anyway. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Once per turn, quick effect. You can target 1 attack position monster. Change it to defense position. Also, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. Once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face-up monster, you can activate this effect until the end of this turn. This card gains attack equal to half that monster's current attack. And if it does, that monster's current attack is halved. So, very good card. But that's it for the links. Next up, we have just the super poly targets. Like I said, I don't have any room. But we have one Violet Chimera and one Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. I personally would only run, or I would actually run 2 Starving Venom Fusion Dragons, just because I recently went to locals, but this is like I only went there twice so far, but I haven't faced off against any Salamence, so, but I faced off against a lot of dark type or attribute decks, so I used like Starving Venom Fusion Dragon twice in one game with Super Poly. But never happened since. But I was like, you know what? Who knows when I'm going to face against Salamence. So I put that in there instead of a second Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. So they're both kind of the same a little bit. But I'll let you pause the video if you want to look at them. Next up, we got the Utopia package. Utopia double. Utopia. And then Utopia the Lightning. Very good, very good. Just powerhouses and just great OTKs right here. Utopia of the Lightning is when, like in main phase 2, if Utopia doesn't like succeed with that 10,000 attack, just go into main phase 2 and just Utopia the Lightning, overlay him, and you have it for next turn or during your opponent's turn or whatever. So then after that, we got our rank 8's package. We got Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon. Then we got Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon Dragon. And Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon. So basically you can overlay, or you can go into Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon, detach a material, steal a monster they have. That monster that you stole can only attack that turn, which kind of sucks. But then you can overlay into Full Armor Photon Dragon to detach a material, to pop a face-up card on the field, and then you can you want to detach this guy, so he'd be in the graveyard, and then you can go into Galaxy Eyes Cypher Blade Dragon, which would be you can pretty much detach a material, and then pop one card your opponent controls, and if he's destroyed by an opponent's card or by battle, I think, or just, I don't know, in general, you can target one Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon in your graveyard and special summon it, so very good. Great package there. And then to round off our XZ monsters, we just play the one Tornado Dragon and the one Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller is so good in today's metagame. It just pretty much you can detach, or once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach one XYZ material from this card, and any card effects that activate in your opponent's graveyard cannot be activated this turn, so it just shuts them down, which is really good. And then Tornado Dragon is just really pretty good rank 4. Once per turn, quick effect, you can detach one material from this card, then target one spell or trap card on the field, then destroy it. So it's pretty good against pendulums and stuff. So, well, that is going to be it for my Magical Musketeer deck profile. If you did go and enjoy, make sure to leave a like on the video, and subscribe if you're new, and yeah, comment down below what you think of the deck. I don't know, I know it's not like the best Magical Musketeer deck out there, but hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch everybody in the next video. See ya.